What's up, plant lovers? I'm Devin Wallien, and in today's video we're going to be talking about golden oregano. If you've been here a while, you know I love my ground covers. And golden oregano, I planted it last year. You can see I started with little 3.5-inch pots and I planted them along this retaining wall, and you can see how each of them is growing and spreading beautifully. Now I love the golden oregano because it's really a drought tolerant plant, and this is kind of in a half sun, gets like morning sunlight but afternoon shade, and it is a fragrant ground cover that the deer, the rabbits, the squirrels, they really stay away. It also makes it pet friendly and kid friendly because it is an oregano, totally edible. However, the flavor is not quite as pungent or, I don't know, cuisine friendly as like a cooking oregano, but it is edible. And I love the fact that it has this yellowy golden foliage because it really brightens up the garden beds when it's juxtaposed against richer greens like our hostas or our ferns and our hydrangeas, things like that. I have it growing here along this area, which gets, you know, morning sunlight, but I also have it growing in a full sun situation. Now here you can see I have it sort of dotted around in this garden bed, mixed with plants like roses and iris, some catmint. What else do I have in here? Some carex sedges in a really full, sunny, dry garden bed. And you can see in this full sun bed, it is a little bit more thick and dense and has grown more than it did over in that shadier area. But they look really lovely in both situations. That makes it a really versatile ground cover. And the way that it spreads and hugs the ground is really great because it does help keep those weeds at bay. And as you can see, as it will grow and spread, it is gonna reduce my need for mulches. Hopefully I can get another couple hundred planted in here to really, cover the floor. But it's an awesome ground cover choice, and as it continues to grow, we'll revisit it. It should produce some flowers in the middle of the summertime as well, so we'll be on the lookout for that. And when we, have some more action coming on, we'll revisit, take a look how it's growing. Wow, and you can see just a couple short weeks later, it is totally nice and fluffy, absolutely beautiful and glowing here in this bright, sunny garden. Hasn't flowered yet, so we're still on the lookout for that. But I want to show you guys how to get them planted as well as how to make divisions, because when it comes to growing ground covers, you're gonna want more. So you're gonna want to know how to easily divide your plants that are growing in your garden beds so you can take chunks out and grow them somewhere else. So first, let me show you how to get them planted from an original tray, and then how to get them divided. So with a tray like this, you'll just pop them out. And it's very likely that they'll all just be kind of grown as a chunk. Just rip them apart. And if they're well-grown plants, they should be kind of root bound, so we'll just break those roots up a little bit. Now for beds like this that have some mulch, remove some of that mulch. And dig a nice hole, and we want to make sure that the soil line of our plant is in line with the soil line in our bed. Fill it back in, add the mulch, and there you go. Simple as that. Now when it comes to making a division, there's always two requirements. You need top growth and you need root material. So you're gonna wanna make sure that wherever you're taking your division, you're going to get a nice chunk of stems in there. So I actually like to sometimes just remove a little bit of that foliage so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Then I'm gonna take my hory and just honestly dig, slide back and forth. And something like this is essentially going to grow like one of these that we were just planting. The nice thing is this little section will fill back out, so I'll try to remove as much of this excess soil as possible. And you can see there's nice roots growing in here. There's top growth, so this is a nice, successful little division. Fill this back in, and over the course of the season, this little section will definitely grow back. And just like that little plant that I planted earlier, same exact process. Remove the mulch. Dig a little section. And there you go. And over the course of 1 or 2 seasons, this will definitely spread out to cover the ground like this. And now we're well into summertime here with our golden oregano, and it looks gorgeous. I love how it overflows over the edge of these little rocks, boulders right here. And particularly with these echinacea back here, this is a wonderful combination. I'm really thrilled at how it is developing. Oh wow, this stem actually climbed up the oregano, or the echinacea. That's pretty cool. But yeah, absolutely a beautiful ground cover to give some wonderful contrast to the greens and the bright flowers that you have like this. And with that, now you know a little bit more about the great ground cover that is golden oregano. It's an awesome ground cover. It's gonna do better, as you notice, it does better in the sunnier conditions. This here in the area that gets not quite as much direct sun, definitely not as flush or full as those other plants, but it still looks pretty darn good here too. Pretty versatile, quite drought tolerant, and lovely for that aromatic foliage with that bright golden yellow hue. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to our channel. Tons of other plant related videos, including an entire playlist all about great ground covers that might be a wonderful addition to your garden beds. Thanks for joining me here on Plant Vibrations. I'll catch you soon. Ciao.